This is the gateway to shadow work. Shadow work. The term might sound esoteric, yet it represents one of the most transformative psychological journeys anyone can undertake. And most will avoid it, not from a lack of ability, but from a deep-seated fear of what they might discover in the silence. The psychologist Carl Jung, who named this concept, proposed that we all possess a concealed self. This is the repository for every trait, every emotion, every impulse we have ever disowned, suppressed, or been afraid of. Left unexamined, it directs your life from the darkness. The shadow is not your enemy, but your disowned self. Think of a time you snapped over a minor comment or unconsciously ruined a golden opportunity. That wasn't a random glitch. That was your shadow taking the wheel. This hidden self isn't a monster to be slain. It is a part of you that was formed the instant you learned which behaviors were rewarded and which ones had to be locked away. In our earliest years, we received constant messages. Don't be so loud. Don't be so sensitive. Be polite. Be manageable. So we interred our rage, our wildness, our profound needs. Shadow work is the deliberate process of unearthing these exiled pieces. The goal isn't to dwell in the past, but to reclaim your entirety. But let's be clear, this work is not decorative. It isn't lighting a candle and hoping for peace. It is sitting in the stark quiet while your psyche projects every memory you've fought to escape. And this is precisely where liberation is born. You cannot disarm what you refuse to see. Jung wrote that we achieve enlightenment not by fantasizing about light, but by bringing the darkness into awareness. That is the core of this work. It is not a quick fix. It is a profound encounter with your own truth. So where do you begin? The initial step is simple, yet demanding. Pure awareness. Watch for your emotional triggers. When a reaction feels too large for the event, pause and ask, what within me feels exposed? Is it your sense of value, your safety, your right to exist? Write these moments down. Don't seek solutions, just observe the pattern. The shadow resides not in your plans, but in the cyclical feelings you consistently avoid. Next, commit to unflinching self-honesty. We all craft narratives to protect our ego. I'm better off alone. It doesn't hurt anymore. Shadow work challenges you. Who are you without that protective tail? That question can be terrifying, for we often build our identity upon our scars. To release the story is to risk not knowing who you are. Then, observe your projections. What irritates you, what you judge harshly in others, is frequently a quality you deny in yourself. That flicker of envy, that surge of annoyance, it's often a mirror. Shadow work asks you to look into that mirror and inquire, where does this truly live inside me? Here lies the beautiful paradox. The shadow isn't only darkness. Jung described a golden shadow, the immense creativity, power, and love we repressed for being too much. Your greatest power often hides in what you conceal. Thus, this work is not merely an excavation of pain. It is a recovery of your latent brilliance. The self that was never damaged, only forced into hiding. There are, of course, methods. Journaling prompts, dialogues with your younger self, meditation. But the techniques are useless without the courage. The courage to turn inward when every fiber wants to turn away. If you are beginning, consider Owning Your Own Shadow by Robert A. Johnson. It is concise and piercing. For a broader view, Meeting the Shadow collects essential essays. For the dedicated, Jung's The Archetypes and the Collective Unconscious is challenging but foundational. You will emerge changed. But understand this critical point. You don't engage in shadow work to simply improve your mood. You do it to become authentic. And within that authenticity, genuine healing finds its roots. There's a peculiar stillness that follows a true shadow encounter. It isn't happiness. It is the realization that you have faced the tempest you spent a lifetime fleeing, and you have not shattered. Yet the shadow isn't a relic. It is active now, in your partnerships, in your career, in the polite "I'm okay" that masks a silent scream. It appears when you compromise your values for approval, when you erupt, then feel remorse, when you choose less because a hidden part feels unworthy. This work isn't about recalling childhood wounds. It's about recognizing how those ancient injuries are still authoring your present choices. It isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's the mask of constant self-criticism, the drive for flawless performance, the habit of overgiving, or the dread of true vulnerability. We imagine our struggles are unique, yet so many of us are haunted by the same core question: am I worthy? Jung suggested we craft personas, social masks, not to deceive, but from terror. The fear that our true nature is too fractured for connection, too intense, or too insignificant. The shadow grows in the chasm between our genuine self and our performance. And this is the essential paradox. The more you ignore your shadow, the stronger it becomes. Not from malice, but from a desperate need to be acknowledged. Your harsh judgments, your repetitive relational dramas, your self-sabotage, these are not moral failings. They are the unconscious pleading, "See me. I am still here." How do you journey deeper? Begin by decelerating. We exist in a culture of haste, of achievement, of getting over it. But the unconscious understands only presence, not speed. Sit with the unease. Don't numb it. Let it resonate in your body. Document what surfaces. Ask, what is the true fear beneath this? What aspect of myself have I disowned? Who am I echoing when I feel inadequate? And then listen. The shadow does not yield to demands. It responds to sincere inquiry. To go further, try writing, not to someone else, but to the part of you that has been silenced for years, the frightened child, the rebellious adolescent, the weary grown-up. Grant it a voice. Shadow work is not about curing a broken self. It is about meeting your entire self with truth and compassion, ending the pretense. But this is vital. Do not walk this path in perpetual solitude. You can start alone, but as you delve deeper, a supportive presence becomes essential, a skilled therapist, a trusted guide, a true friend. This work is spiral, not linear. You will circle the same core pains, but each time with greater understanding, more strength, and deeper kindness. You'll start to notice the shifts. You'll hesitate before a triggered response. You'll articulate your true feelings, even when it's difficult. You'll cease betraying yourself to gain acceptance. You'll see the mask, and you'll consciously decide to wear it or lay it down. This is Jung's individuation, the pilgrimage toward wholeness. Not just the persona that functions in society, but also the part that weeps alone, that rages in silence, that dreams vast dreams. Wholeness is not flawlessness, it is integrity. And integrity, however uncomfortable, is the source of all real freedom. Now, for a tangible practice, monitor your intense emotional reactions. What sparked jealousy, anger, or shame? Record it. Identify the wounded part that is responding. Is it your inner child, your suppressed creative? Naming it gives it a shape. Sit with that fragment. Don't debate. Just listen. Let it express itself through writing or quiet contemplation. Offer it acceptance. You need not endorse its views, simply witness it. This act alone holds immense power. Then, make a new choice. Not from a place of seeking improvement, but from a commitment to integration. To continue your study, return to the texts mentioned. Also explore The Shadow Effect by Debbie Ford or Romancing the Shadow by Connie Zweig. For a deeply resonant, mythic journey, Women Who Run with the Wolves by Clarissa Pinkola Estes is unparalleled. But remember this above all: no external resource can do this for you. No video, no book, no quote. The only one who can finally meet your shadow is you.